What does this sound like? Check this out and I'll be right back.
Lastly, we have another executive order that President Trump signed relating to independent agencies. This executive order would establish important oversight functions in the Office of Management and Budget and its subsidiary office, OIRA, reestablishes the longstanding norm that only the president or the attorney general can speak for the United States when stating an opinion as to what the law is.
Now, what you saw in that clip is the announcement of a new executive order that Trump has signed. And the 34 times convicted felon just signed off an executive order that centralizes authority for the interpretation of the law under his office and the attorney general's office. And what that means is that it effectively cuts off the legislature and the judiciary and eliminates the separation of powers. Now, this is consistent with the unitary executive theory, which has underpinned a lot of what the executive theory has been for the Trump administration. And this is something that's been pushed by the Heritage Foundation as they try to reshape the American Republic into something that looks closer to a dictatorship that you see in Hungary and other countries like that. One of the things that's really interesting about this particular move is that it actually draws a strong parallel to what happened in 1933 with the Enabling Act. Those of us who have followed history know that the Enabling Act was one of the final straws that helped consolidate power in the hands of the chancellor at the time and eliminated the influence of the judiciary and the legislature. So what you're seeing here is a proto version of what the Enabling Act actually allowed the failed Austrian painter to do in the 1930s. Now, that act was put into place for theoretically only 4 years, but we know that it was extended indefinitely until the regime fell. This should be a clear and present danger to every American that is watching this happen, and it should be a clear signal into what is the intent of this administration. This administration is determined to bring forward the Fourth Reich, and this should eliminate any question about whether this administration is pursuing a white nationalist fascist ideology and looking to transform America into that sort of country.